Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to Bet Online today to get in on all the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet Online, the game starts here.
Say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that?
Thank you for making Saints Central your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. Thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out the shade for the championship. Fucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, money like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
And the Saints just fall short. The Washington Commanders literally escape. They literally escape out of here with the win, 20-19. Man, what a gutty performance by the Spencer Rattler in the second half, man. He tried to go with Juwan Johnson. He got it to Juwan. It was hot and heavy. And right off the outstretched hands of Juwan Johnson, he put it in there hot and heavy. And man, Rattler, man, listen, did a really good job in the second half of just lighting a fire with the Saints offense. And imagine if we had them for a full game, the Saints more than likely would have won the game, don't you think? Saints would have more than likely won the game. So that's the final right here, fam. That's the final. The Saints lose on a final play to incomplete 2-point conversion to try to win the game. 20-19. And like I said, the Saints offense, they got going. They scored 19 points in the second half of the game. So you know the what's going to end up happening here is right here, right? Y'all know that the issue is going to be talked about is why was Haener starting? If Rattler was rolling like that, then that's going to be the talking point going forward, isn't it? The guy's like, okay, the Saints did all of that and had a chance to win the game, but why wasn't Rattler the call? And that's fair. That is very fair. That is super, super, super fair. To be honest with you guys, that Rizzi should be questioned about that because that's big for them not to be able to, for them to have that and you go with him. Because if you had, I believe if you had Rattler in the first half, you probably would have won the game. The Saints literally had no offense the entire first half. I mean, literally no offense. So they lose the way they lose, and that will put them, unfortunately, at what is our record now? They are 5-9. Saints are now 5-9 on the season. And that pretty much that will do you, man. You can't afford. And see, that's what I was saying about a lot of this, man. It's like people are questioning, and that's fair. You can question Rizzi's call on making Haener the starting quarterback. You can question it all you like. You also have to question how the offensive line responded in the second half to Spencer Rattler being there versus what they were doing in the first half with Jake Haener. The play calling was a little bit better. The offensive line performed better in the second half than it did in the first half. They gave us nothing. And you ran out of time. If you get a field goal in the first half, even something, if you got a field goal in the first half of the game, you would come away with the win. If you'd have got something, you got nothing in the entire first half. This was totally a half of a half game. This is literally a half a performance. Listen, this is literally what you would call a half-ass game. This is literally what it means when you say that. Man, the Saints, man, they did half-ass team. And this is literally what it would be. You played half of a game offensively. You gave nothing in the first half. And then explode for 19 points in the second half. Well, Q, what was the difference? What changed in the second quarter, in the second half of the game that they didn't have in the first game? The quarterback. The damn quarterback. And that's despite the fact that Alvin Kamara was knocked out of the game around the time in the fourth quarter, and they still were moving the ball without Alvin. What was the difference? The difference was the quarterback. Because you had the same shit in line. The line performed better. They responded to Spencer Rattler different than they did to Jake Haener. You got nothing from the offense in the first half, and then they got 19 points as a collective in the second half to barely lose the game. Damn. 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 Florida Evans around this piece, man. All right, Black Preacher Man said this might have been different. It might have been. See, Black Preacher Man. Thank you, Black Preacher Man. You're right, sir. You are absolutely right. William says Rattler's the future for now. Okay. I promise you that if he was in there full time, you'd have won this game. You'd have beat the Commanders. And that will come down to a question that will lead to the questioning of the head coach. Because all during the game, we're like, okay, Haener, we'll see what you can do. But that's based on the call that you make. We said, we knew it's like, man, listen, Rattler is the guy. He's better than Jake Haener. We said that. He won the backup job. Clear, for whatever weird reason, he keeps facilitating this narrative like it's a competition between Rattler and Haener. It is not a competition. As you can clearly see, once again, for those who have eyes to see, this is the same type of stuff we've seen in the preseason that made Spencer Rattler win the job over Jake Haener when he scored touchdowns and Haener didn't put up no touchdowns. You're seeing it again today. Haener takes over the offense, same offense, same offensive line, same shit and everything. Goes in there and sparks them to put up some 19 points. I mean, you can't get any clearer difference than that. But that was that. But people have the right to question Rizzi's call on Jake Haener. Jake Haener. Let me tell you something, Jake Haener. Jake Haener gets the best chance to win. Now, listen, no disrespect to Spencer Rattler, but Jake Haener, insecure. He's going to, it's just unfortunate. But Jake Haener gives us the best opportunity to win. We kind of, they kind of did the Zoolander thing, kind of weird on the photo shoot. But see, nevertheless, we spent that Jake Haener gives the best chance to win the game. And it's unofficial. We just got to win it to the game. We did what we got to do. And unfortunately, we did get the wins. We had to make a change at the halftime. And then Rattler comes out there. Red Dead, we got to do. He did what he got to do. Red Dead, Red Dead, Red Dead, Red Dead, Red Dead. Yeah, it says just see it over and over again. Red Dead, Red Dead, Red Dead. Just do it over and over again. Just go rat all over again in your Haener voice. I mean, in your Rizzi voice. Just rat that all over again in your raspy ass Rizzi voice. Shit. Red Dead. Yeah, just say it over again. Let it marinate, man. Because we like Haener, but Haener is not better than Rattler. We said that. Oh, these people crazy, man. God damn it. They crazy, man. What's wrong with these people? Anyway, I'm gonna bring Pops Q in here momentarily, man. Yeah. Hey, listen, fam. It don't do. Listen, the Rattler voice that I do, it does nothing to my vocal cords. It really doesn't. You know, because my voice is already raspy as well, so it's not tough for me to do a Rizzi voice because I got a raspy, a kind of unique voice myself. So, you know, it's not far for me to go to the Rizzi levels of raspiness to kind of deliver. Yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on. I'm telling you, man, listen, the hater, he did a good job out there today. And you know, yes. Yeah, you know. I tell you, man, these people will drive you crazy, man, with this foolishness, man. It'll drive you crazy. But hopefully the debate is settled. See, he's carrying on that same stuff that Dennis Allen, which lets me know that he didn't do nothing with that offense. That's what I've been telling y'all. He started when you started hitting him, like the reporters start shooting, you know, like Yosemite Sam at his feet with the questions. They start going pop, 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 pop. And then Rizzi, oh no, yeah, man, hold on, you guys can't shoot at my feet like that. Come on now. You know, that's what's going on. The guy, you know, he is, hey, come on. I mean, you know, yeah, he don't have any answers when it come down to the offense, but, you know, he knows about the special team and defense, but he don't know shit when it come down to the offense. KK says spot on. I told y'all I was going to get it. I told y'all, OG to the third degree shout out to you. He challenged me, said, Q, now, you know, you got to figure out the Rattler voice, right? I mean, not the Rattler, the Rizzi voice. I said, yeah, I'm going to get it, man. I just need a little bit more time to take a listen to him. And sooner or later, I get it. Sooner or later. I'm going to get better at it, but might not need to get better at it because he probably ain't going to be back here next year. The only thing if you get your team to the playoffs, you get a shot. He'll get an interview. But if I'm the Saints, man, and listen, I doubt you beat Green Bay. I'm not being pessimistic. I'm just saying, if you got Rattler in there, that's one thing. You have Rattler in there early, you win this game. If you have Rattler against Green Bay, which it won't be no competition issue, Derek Carr's not going to play. Spencer Rattler will be the starter. Haener will be his backup next week against Green Bay. I'll assure you that. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is, as I'm looking at what they're providing against Green Bay, the offensive line will have to show up to play. We know Elvin's dealing with a groin issue. We'll see if Elvin's going to be there. But at the end of the day, if you have Rattler for a full game, you beat the Commanders. I mean, the Saints, and I'm going to say it again, I'm going to hit these stats. They literally gave us nothing offensively for a full game, literally nothing, and then tried to compress it come from behind to win a game in half of a game. The defense put up enough stops. The Saints almost did it. Now, you know, like I said, they just ran out of time. Very sad. All right, let's hit the stats. I'm going to bring in Pops Q in a minute, man. He's patiently waiting by. First down stats, 23-17 advantage the Washington Whataburgers. 9-17. The Saints were a ghastly 3 of 11 from third down situation. The Washington club had 74 plays versus the Saints 51 plays. Ridiculous. 326 yards to 245, and a lot of that happened majority of that happened in the second half, by the way. 9 drives and 9. The Saints average went from less than a little bit more than 2.5 yards per play in the first half to almost 5 yards per play with Spencer Rattler in the game. 176 passing yards to 189. The rushing attack did a lot better too. They went up to 4.3 yards per carry on 16 rushing attempts, 69 total rushing yards versus 137 by the Commanders, and kept them close. These stats kind of look a little different, but they had 9 penalties. The Commanders had 9 penalties for over 80 yards. Saints 4 for 36, plus a turnover there. Time of possession, the crazy stat about it is the time of possession, fam, for what you've seen here look at the time of possession here, and the Saints almost won this game in the second half. The Commanders had the ball for over 40 minutes of a 60-minute game, fam. 40 minutes. So that means your defense was out there for over 40 minutes and still was able to provide some plays to kind of help give you an opportunity to win the game. They were out there for over 40 minutes for the entire game, and the defense still was energetic, still making plays. And the Saints offense, 19 minutes and 10 seconds. Oh, that is absolutely insane that these people held the ball for over 40 minutes of a 60-minute game and barely lost by one. If only we would have played our Rattler in the first half and would have gotten something. You know, if you've seen it if we were to pull them out there in the second quarter, say we're going to go with this guy, something, the field goal, something, it would have been different. Spencer finished with 10 of 21 for 135 yards, right? Throwing the ball, 10 for 21, 135, 6.4 yard average, and a touchdown throwing. He wasn't sacked, and he had a rating of 84.4. Jake Haener, 4 of 10 for 49 yards, 5 yards average. He was sacked 3 times, had a rating of 16.2. It's a ghastly indictment on the differences between the two. Spencer Rattler, like we said, is more athletically gifted. He is a better thrower on the ball. He's more composed. He has more of a leader presence in the huddle, obviously, for him to spark the offense and to be able to score 19 points during the time he's responsible out there. Big difference. Kendre Miller, 9 carries for 46 yards. Elvin finished the game 5 of 12, not too much shaking for him. MVS finished with 2 catches for 64 yards over 7 targets. Elvin Kamara, 4 for 51. Foster Monroe got busy, 4 for 39 and a touchdown. And Elvin also had a touchdown in the game. So, you know, we've seen some positive stuff as Foster Monroe kind of peeked his head up and made some plays down the stretch. The top tackler, Demario, had 14 total tackles for Demario Davis. He was playing really good out there today by Demario Davis. He was handling his business, man, playing really solid and stellar ball out there. Then, of course, you had the sack as well, to go along with what we've seen happen with so many sacks. Will Harris had 9 tackles. Ugo had 7 for Werner. Tackles, that is. The sacks, Demario had a sack. Ugo had a sack. 2 by Cam Jordan, 1 by Carl Granderson, 2 by Chase Young. Everybody had 8 sacks. Willie Gay had a sack as well. 8 sacks on the day. Brian Brissy did not get a sack today. Sad to say, but the Saints were balling. They had 8 sacks in the game. And was just, man, when you get an 8-sack game, you thinking, man, we're going to win the game. Blake Grupe was 2 for 2 on the day to help, the Saints out there. And it just wasn't enough because we played a half of a game. And usually when you play a half of a game, you're going to lose. Jaden Daniels, 25 of 31, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked 8 times, 118.5. He also was the top rusher for his club, 11 carries for 66 yards. Brian Johnson, 21 carries for 65 yards. Saints stopped that guy every time he ran the ball. Terry McLaurin, 7 catches off of 10 targets, 73 yards, man, 2 touchdowns, and 1 catch almost burned the Saints deep twice if it wasn't for Jaden missing on him. So he spread the ball around like he was supposed to. He found Zachuius, he found De'Ami Brown, Jamison Crowder, Zach Ertz before so he spread the ball around. But still in all, man, if we only had some offensive production in the first half, things would have been different. No doubt about it. So Pops, welcome on in, man, to the broadcast. Appreciate you chiming by. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, son. Doing pretty good.
Right. What you thinking on the game today? What you thought about the Saints in the loss?
I think they should have kicked the extra point and allowed the game to go in overtime. That's my first thought. Because
Okay.
see, they had the momentum, okay, and the time was winding down for them. So they only had 3 seconds. They did get a touchdown, but then I would have just lined up, kicked the field goal. The extra point, and then you go into overtime, 20-20. We decide to, and that kid's Rattler's good. He did good in the second half. He put those points up. But I mean, he's inexperienced in those kinds of big time serious moments in the game like that. So I would have made it comfortable on him. I would have just kicked the extra point. That would have had us 20-20 as the time ran out. We go into overtime and then see what happens. But by trying to force something that I didn't even see it developing, we lose that game. We had a shot to win that game. If you look at the score, 20-19, we kicked that extra point. We tied with them. They don't have no time to kick the ball off. You go into overtime, and then you see what happens. Who gets the ball? And we were on the Saints. Actually, the Saints defense had the momentum going. They had Jason, Jaden, Jaden. You know what?
Daniels.
Yes, Jason, Jaden Daniels. They had him rattled a little bit. So if we'd have got it, all we needed first, whoever gets the ball first and scores, they win the game. I think we didn't give ourselves a chance to beat them. We, like you said, we made a mistake by playing Hainer the whole game. And Hainer is, I don't know, he looked like he was uneasy or he wasn't thinking right. He was getting creamed out there. You see what I'm saying? He was getting creamed out there. And he was nervous. They blitzed him. But and then they put the other kid in, and he executed some plays, but they didn't give him an opportunity to win because they decided to go for two. I disagree with that. I mean, I understand that they wanted to win, but look at your time. You had time. You had no time. You had 3 seconds to try to get the extra point. So that means you got to force the ball in there. So they weren't able to do it. I would have kicked the extra point and tied it up, and then we'll see what happens in overtime. I would have took that chance. I mean, that's the coach's decision, but I wouldn't have. I'd have kicked the extra point, tie it up, and then see what goes in the extra inning.
You know what, Pops? That's the point, man. That's the point, man. To kind of that's a good point on it. That they were looking to kind of just finish the game, and Rattler did make a throw. It was a little hot and heavy on it, but it went right off the hands of Jawan Johnson in the end zone. Mm-hmm. So it was, that the play the conservative way, to force the overtime would have been a pretty solid move, to say the least. But they felt like they could get the numbers, make the play to get into to win the game. They were just trying to win the game off top. So.
I understand that, but
you think they'll ask Rizzi about that, Pops? You think they'll ask Rizzi about it?
I'm assuming I would. If I was standing there, would have to say, why you only had 4 or 5 seconds left? Kick the extra point, go into overtime, and it gives you more time to work with. So we had Washington number in the second half. We just basically gave them the game, or Rattler should have run to the left side while he was executing that play because the left side was wide open and he only had a few yards. He could have walked in the end zone. If he just took off and ran and ran for the end zone, he could have won it that way. Yeah. But like I said, the safest way would have been kick the extra point. And then you tied up and you got Washington, you got them tied up, you get them, then you're taking them on in the extra inning. And they would have, we had a shot at winning this game. We really did. But I understand they took the chance to try to do it that way. But I would, if I was a coach, if I was coaching them, I'd say, let's kick the extra point. And then we go into overtime, 20-20. It was an overtime game. That looks better than losing by 1 point because we tried to end the game and the guys and that team, Washington prepared for that. So to me, the less chance would have been for them to kick an extra point, tie the game up, and then that's what we do in overtime. That to me, that would have made more sense than what they tried to do there. I can understand that. I do understand what they were trying to do, but at the time and how much time they had left on the clock, I mean, there were zeros on the clock, so they did get one extra play in. You see what I'm saying? But I would have just lined up, kicked the extra point. And say, okay, we're going in overtime, and then we see what happens in overtime. That'll give our team a better chance to win. And Rattler was catching on fire, so I think we might have a good chance to win that game.
Yeah, you might have a point on that, Pops. But I'm pretty sure they're going to definitely. Our reporters are some of this is a smarter group of reporters we had in a long time, man. So they definitely going to ask, Rizzi several questions, including I think probably the bigger question is why wasn't Rattler brought in earlier in the game when you seen Jake Haener was struggling?
You see him was yes, I agree, son. He was struggling and struggling mighty. He threw one play. He just threw the ball. So he'll Washington catch this football. That's how you put it up. The guy proceeded to do just that. And I think they scored a touchdown on that interception too. That was one interception that Washington scored one of their touchdowns on. Because we couldn't hang with them. Our offense was stale, and like I believe that Rattler would have been a better choice to start because he's got more in tune with the game after they got him in there. He wasn't fumbled, he wasn't nervous, but Haener appeared to be a little nervous during his first insert as a starter. He was a little nervous. And the team didn't respond to him. They couldn't respond to him. He stood there taking sacks. Run, pick up some run. Take off and run. If you see the pocket breaking down, most good quarterbacks would take off and run.
Yeah, he wouldn't stand up there taking some sacks and moving around. Well, he was
executing the old Statue of Liberty play. When you get the football, you hope the offensive line can protect him to keep the lineman, defensive lineman from laying him down.
He go Rizzi.
Lost, but I don't know if I've ever been more proud of the team. So it's certainly a mixed bag there. Obviously, it was a tale of two halves. We did not play the game we wanted to play in the first half. That's a little bit obvious. We had one first down and we had 14 total plays, and that wasn't all on the quarterback. We felt like we needed to make a change there at halftime. We did. Spencer did a great job, came in and provided some spark. But not only that, we played, we only gave up 6 points in the second half, which gave us a chance to win. But as I just told the team, we needed one more play, and unfortunately we dug too big of a hole there in the first half. We dug a 14-point deficit. So, listen, when I took this job on my first day, I told everybody that we weren't going to lack passion and we weren't going to lack fight and we weren't going to be boring to watch. And I've never seen a group in there fight harder, be more passionate. And certainly that was an exciting second half of football. I wish that we would have duplicated it for two halves. But at halftime, we said, hey, we're going to find out a lot about ourselves and how we're going to respond and, what kind of fight we are, because that's what we've been talking about for these last 5 games and 6 weeks. So, as I just told the group, I have been extremely proud of the way that everybody in the locker room has handled the situation in the last 6 weeks and the last 5 games. And I didn't think I could be any prouder, but I was as proud as I've ever been walking off the field today because that was just an unbelievable fight to the finish, and we were just one play short. So with that said, I'll take some questions.
After watching both of them play, in hindsight, how do you look at your decision to start Jake over Spencer?
Yeah, listen, I think Jake's first half comes down to a couple of plays. One, he completes that third down ball to Cedric for a big play, and we're gonna have really good field position, and he gets called back for holding, and that was a huge swing because we got sacked in the next play. So you guys can look it up, but that's like a 40-yard plus swing in the game, and that might change the whole entire half for Jake. And then he had another great throw to MVS, and listen, MVS had a phenomenal game, but MVS drops that over ball that's kind of on the run, and so. You take those 2 plays, and if we don't get a holding call, which was suspect, and then if we complete that ball, we might be having a different conversation. I just felt like, and the offensive coaches felt like, we just needed a spark in the second half, and that's why we made that decision. I'm certainly not down on Jake. Listen, we only had 14 plays. They controlled the clock. They controlled the ball. They did all the things that we didn't want them to do coming into this game. And so, like I said earlier, it's not all on Jake.
But what would you think that a spark was needed besides Jake? You only have 14 plays in the first.
Well, we had one first down and we had 0 points. So it just, we were kind of reaching there for something. And sometimes, a fresh face in there. I've said this before. Jake and Spencer are very similar players. Just we need a little. I thought there was a couple plays, although Jake had some positives. I thought we held the ball a little too long a couple times, took a couple sacks. It wasn't all on him. It was some of the protection as well. So those are the reasons. Sometimes when you're in one of these games and you're just stale, you're looking for a spark, and we just felt like a change of scenery, a change at the position was the way to go.
How do you think the guys responded when it was Spencer?
Yeah, as I said at halftime to the offense, we just need the first score to get a little momentum going. Sometimes there's a snowball effect, and so I think, if I'm not mistaken, we had 1 first down in the first half. We had 16 first downs in the second half. Like I said, a tale of two halves. So it's just really we needed that initial scoring drive to get a little confidence. When there's a big fat zero up on there for a while, there's not a lot of confidence going on, and then so once you get that first score, everybody starts feeling like a little bit like on the sideline, like, yeah, we can do it. So that's kind of where we were. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was predetermined before the game. I just felt like the way the game played out. AK had gone out. He was out for the game. MVS got banged up. We started to lose more offensive weapons. You guys felt the momentum shift there at the end. Listen, I don't regret it whatsoever. I don't think the players regret it. They're all in favor of it. And so I just thought it was the right thing. We managed the clock very well there at the end. I thought Kendra, Miller ran the ball really well there in the 2 minute, except for maybe the one play, which we didn't block great. We completed that ball to Foster. We got the ball clocked. We got the touchdown. We left no time on the clock for Washington and Jaden Daniels. That was the plan. And I just felt, we talked during the drive if we liked our 2-point plays and all that. So when we scored, there was no doubt in my mind we were going to go for 2 and go for the win.
What do you learn about Spencer in a situation like that?
Well, it's the same thing that Spencer's been, and part of the reason we drafted him is, Spencer's not the tallest, not the strongest arm, not the most athletic guy, but he is a outstanding, he's a gamer. He's a classic gamer. That's what you put his college film on. That's what he was. He was a gamer, and he just has that natural, leadership ability. He's got some playmaking ability. I know in the 3 games he started, there were some bumps in the road there. He's a rookie, like any rookie, and so I think he learned from that experience. And so it tells me a lot about his character. It tells me a lot about his heart. The guy didn't flinch. He was excited at halftime to go in the game. He took on a leadership position. He never felt like one time in there that he didn't belong. And so all those things, I'm very, very proud of Spencer. Just told him the same thing.
How do you think the defense handles Jaden?
Yeah, listen, when I signed up for 20 points before the game, yes. If you told me coming in they were going to have 20, I'm going to tell you we're going to win. And so he made some plays. That's what he does. That's why he won the Heisman Trophy. That's why he was drafted where he was drafted. And that's why he's having the season he's having. He's a phenomenal player. And, we knew we had to kind of contain him a little bit. But he made some huge plays, 2 particular huge scrambles. He had the 4th down run for them where he jumped over the top, took a couple more minutes off the clock. He had some great throws. That's what he's doing. But, I'd be lying to you if I told you before the game, if you told me, hey, defensively, we're going to give up 20 and then we're going to give up 6 points in the second half, would have signed up for that before. So I think overall, a solid performance by the defense. And, but Jaden Daniels, again, he's going to make those plays. You're going to hope to contain some of them. And he made a few on us in crucial moments.
Yeah, and I imagine it's even harder for Spencer Rattler to come in a game like that without having appeared in a game since week 8 or taken any first-team reps. What do you think it is that allowed him to get so comfortable so quickly? His
preparation. I think that, he came into this game knowing that, we did give him some reps during the week. He had the whole menu of plays. And a lot of times, once we decided that Jake was the starter, Spencer prepared himself like he was going to be. You never ever see, never a bad attitude, never never sulking, anything like that. This guy's a pro at a very young age. He's been through a lot. Obviously, transferred around in college, and he's been in a lot of systems. And it's a credit to him. He's a resilient person, and that showed today. So again, ultra proud of him.
And is there anything you would point to obviously the team was also struggling to run the ball at all in the first half, had a lot more success in the second half. Was there an adjustment made, just any improved performance?
Well, listen, we only had 14 plays, and it's hard to grade the body of work in the first half because we had some penalties mixed in there. We had some negative plays mixed in. We got behind the chains. We had third and seemed like third and double sticks a lot of times, and so it's hard to get any. We just got no momentum going there, and so that's kind of where we were in the first half. So,
Darren, at the end of the third quarter, what was the discussion with the officials? The field goal getting missed, and then
it got totally mismanaged. So. They had the diving catch. I didn't agree with it at all, the way it was done. So we had the diving catch, and I wasn't sure. I had the challenge flag in my hand, and I was talking to the sideline official, and I'm looking at the clock, and we're discussing it on the headset about, hey, the quarter's going to end here. They're going to take the quarter. And I got the challenge flag in my hand. I'm trying to figure out and communicate with up top whether or not we're going to challenge the catch or not. And I'm talking to the official, and I'm saying to him, hey, I might challenge this. Hey, the quarter's over, the quarter's over, the quarter's over, the quarter's over, the quarter's over for about 4 or 5 seconds. They let the play go. He misses the field goal. So whoever's in charge of shutting the play down, they obviously let the play go on. And so the explanation I got is it's a replay assist situation. The play shouldn't have been run because the clocks were at zero. The clocks were at zero. The clocks were definitely at zero. The quarter was over, but the officials missed that, and that's why the play was allowed to go on. That's where my gripe is. The play should not have been allowed to go on. They gave the field goal kicker basically a freebie. They gave him the miss hit, and so I've been coaching kickers for 30 years. You give a guy a warm-up shot, he's got a pretty good shot of making the second one. The success rate goes through the roof when your guy gets a second chance. So that's where my gripe was, is that it was a game management from the officials, operations. I'll let the league handle it, but I hope that everybody else gets held accountable in this league. I hope that the people that mismanaged that get held accountable too, because it was completely mishandled.
You obviously disagreed with the call against Peyton Turner as well. Did you ever get another look at the replay?
What made you think I did disagree with that?
They caught that on camera.
Yeah, I disagreed. You guys saw the play, so yeah, I'm skating on thin ice as it is. So I'm gonna bite my tongue, but I disagree with the call. Yeah, but it's a shame that 7 points in the game, because it was a 1 point game. So it's a shame that 7 points in the game come down to a penalty on a field goal block and a quarter that was over, and they let the play go. That's just a shame. So that's not a criticism. It's a shame.
What was the penalty that they called?
The explanation that I got is that Peyton Turner crossed over the long snapper and his back leg brushed the head of the long snapper. That's the explanation that I got. So, the long snapper is a defenseless player. There's no doubt about that. If anybody is in favor of that, it's me as a special teams background guy. But they said that, they showed the replay briefly. I'm going to have to go watch it. I'll come up with an opinion for myself. But that's on the replay that I saw. That's not really what I saw. So.
Just so that we know, with the quarter ending after that missed field goal, were you still able to challenge that play if you wanted to, the catch beforehand? Or
No, since that field goal was technically a no play, then I would have been able to challenge it. We saw multiple views, and the feeling I got from the guys that are in charge of that up top is that there was no clear view that was not a catch. So I saw the play on the big board. I didn't really see a great angle, but there was multiple angles, and our guys that handled the game management stuff and the replay stuff felt like there wasn't enough to overturn that. So. Yeah, I'm not going to get into there. Derek's still on the injury list. He obviously was inactive today. He's still out right now, so I'm not going to, he's going to be listed still with the same injuries. Yeah, I'm not going to get into all the details on that. So he didn't have a practice. But that's it.
What was the instant review on the 2-point conversion play, the decision to go with that play call, how close it came, or whatever it is?
Yeah, I mean, every game you have a couple of 2-point plays up on the menu. I just felt like the Clint and the offensive staff felt like that was our best call. Listen, didn't work out. Is what it is. So phenomenal drive getting down there and phenomenal drive getting us in a position to win the game. But unfortunately, we didn't execute that last one. I'm sorry? I think that's where he initially kind of felt something. That's what it sounds like from our medical staff. I'll get more information. He's going to get some imaging done and stuff, so I'll have more on that later.
On that 2-point attempt, my role in Spencer Rattler, is that kind of trying to play to his strengths in a situation like that?
I think it was more. I think Matt more was more the play call that we liked. Spencer can obviously does a great job with the drop back stuff too. But in that specific situation, we felt like we knew the defense we were going to get. Felt like that was our best play call.
I'm not sure if we got a Kool-Aid and chemistry updates. It happened late in the game.
Yeah, all I know is if we had gone back on defense, I was told that he would have went back in the game. I don't know all the details of it either, but I was told during the game on the sideline that he. I was just told. I was told he was going to go back in the game. Thank you, Stinger.
Darren, how much was the decision at the end to go for it based on just feel and momentum, and how much was based on you all were going to do that maybe before the game?
Yeah, Jeff, I really think two major factors. One, the momentum. We had gained all the momentum back. I felt like if we kick the extra point and we go to overtime. Now, who knows who gets the ball? Jaden Daniels is a phenomenal player. Kool-Aid had gotten banged up. AK had gotten banged up. MVS had gotten banged up. And I'm just kind of looking and saying, this is our chance to win the game. And so it was probably, number one, a momentum thing. And then probably number two, more of a personnel where we were in the game. And if you told me at halftime that, hey, the last play of the game, you're going to be throwing the ball to win the game, and so, with the way the first half went, so I just felt like at that point, listen, I know there's the old adage about, go kick the extra point at home and go for 2 on the road and all that. We would have went for 2 in the Rams game too, just the way the game's played out. Now, if we had been scoring and the score was 45-45, it might have been 45-44. We kicked the extra point, maybe a different scenario. But just with where we were, I just felt like it was the right call. I don't regret it.
When you took the job, you were going to be aggressive. That's the way you are naturally. That feed into the same mentality you want to show your players?
I think so. I don't think there's a guy in the locker room that regrets that we went for 2. There's not one guy in there that didn't want to do that. The whole sideline, believe me, there was plenty of opinions. I got to make the final decision, but at the same time, I don't think there's zero. I have zero regret. I don't think the players do either. We were in a position the last play to win it. We got one play from the 2-yard line to go win the game. And with all that momentum, I just thought it was the right call. So.
You spoke last week about sort of the clean slate for guys like Kendre Miller.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row, he's had blank states. What you've seen from him.
I'm extremely proud of Kendre. I'm really proud of Kendre because of the way he's handled the last couple of weeks. He's kind of just tried to block out all the outside noise and work hard, work on the things that he needs to work on: ball security, pass protection, and the mental. He did have one mental in the game earlier in the game. I kind of got on him because we had to burn a timeout because we were in the wrong formation. Listen, his whole thing, Kendre's whole thing is if he can stay healthy and if he can be consistent with, the week-to-week game plan, you see the player that he showed the last 2 weeks what he's capable of. And I still think there's just so much football out there for that guy. So, he's a guy I'm rooting for because I just think he's got a career ahead of him if he can take care of those 2 things. Yeah, I don't know. We got the extra day. Let's kind of see. Let's see where Derek is. Hopefully, an extra day helps his hand. Maybe heal a little bit more, and we'll kind of see if he's got function and that kind of stuff. But we'll reevaluate that. I mean, certainly Spencer just came off a really good second half here, so we'll certainly take that into account. But I don't want to make any proclamations yet. We got the extra day off, and we'll kind of see where everybody's at. So,
anything else, Coach?
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, there go Rizzi. And here goes Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan on the mic.
And what did you think about the decision to go for 2 at the end of that game?
Why not? I mean, the momentum was there. Rattler was playing his ass off. A big confidence boost for the young QB, and the way that the energy felt. And there wasn't anybody on the sideline that didn't think we were going to make that.
There's been a lot of times you faced mobile quarterbacks in the past where that has prevented sack opportunities because you guys have tried to stay in a protective shell or whatever. What was it about this game plan that allowed you guys to get out 8 times?
Man, the hard work, effort, and the trust in the game plan of letting guys win off, the edge or, an interior, wherever it was, instead of, trying to over game plan, it was simplifying.
which is what? Trust that guys won't lose gap integrity.
Yeah, I mean, explain it. You insert over the BY, which I'm not going to keep on. I'm probably going to keep on speaking high praises on, and just the way he was able to realize talents and utilize the D line to the best abilities since he sort of took over, and you can see the night and day sort of gameplay. When you have a guy who's a D line coach that's an X and O's guy versus a guy who's actually played the game and now knows how to, has been a D line man for 30 plus years, you can see the effects.
And that's your first 2-sack game in a while. How has this last few weeks felt for you? In terms of how you've been playing, how do you feel?
I'm trying to get a win. Like I can have all types of personal feelings, but I've always said personal accolades and everything else I'll talk about after the season. I'm trying to win somehow, some way. Does it feel great to be sitting at 102.5 sacks? Yeah. Would it felt better with the win? Absolutely. With 3 games left, got to be able to make the most of those. If it's not about winning, I really don't want to talk about it.
You said on Thursday that facing Jaden was going to be annoying. Was it as?
It was annoying. Yeah. He took off for like 60 yards, 40 something yards. How many yards did he end up with? It was 66 yards. Yeah, it was going to be annoying. You knew he was elusive. If you got past that first read, he was able to extend the pocket out. There's a reason why he's been electric this year. And we knew going in we have to sort of break down in those lanes. And even when you want to go take your dive at them, you have to make sure that you have your defense rallying. I think that our guys did a great job of rallying. At some point, you knew you weren't, just because you won doesn't mean that you're going to win the rush. You win the rush, you have to be aware of where Jaden is. And that's something that, we have to move on to the next game with, because we have another mobile type quarterback. Talk about Jordan Love is, great pocket passer, but he can extend plays with his feet as well.
Difficult guy to get to the ground. It seemed like there were several times where he was just wrapped up.
I mean, if you hit him too hard, it's a roughing the passer, as you saw on the other side. If you don't hit him hard enough, then he's able to be, he is a guy who lifts and runs and is an athlete, is overly competitive, overly athletic. And so, if he pushes for a double, then you got to push for a double. Sometimes you got to suplex him.
Did you find Chase to be extra motivated coming into this week with this performance?
No, he's kudos to Chase. He's really turned it on this last few weeks, and I think that's just the edge that he's had going into this final turn. For sure, today we felt that energy early on, but if there was, there wasn't a surplus of energy just because it was the Commanders. He's been, a great addition to the pass rush and the way that we were able to attack. And if you say motivated, I say, why not?
In the line and on your first sack, Chase went around the edge and kind of forced Jaden there. Are those the type of plays that just weren't being made earlier in the season? Have you noticed a difference the way that you guys are going to be coordinating your rushes?
Yeah, I mean, more so it was a middle read game. It was between me and Brian, and a lot of sacks this year could, when you're running between those interior games, it could go one of either way. I'm glad it went my way.
Was there more point of emphasis this week to try and make him go more east-west instead of?
Yeah, of course. You don't want to go have a quarterback going north or south. You definitely want him to go lateral rather than towards a goal that you'd rather not let him have. Yes.
Was there also a little competition with them kind of joking on that screen?
Oh, yeah, of course. Hey, on the screen, I saw it and preemptively tried to jump it, and I probably was like a foot shy. I was like, just throw a little bit closer this time. Next time, I just want to see who's faster. If I catch one and I take off, can you catch me? I don't think so, but maybe we'll see. But we didn't get to see.
You showed speed running down Jaden on that one. I mean, you forced him out.
What's new? Are you saying something that you never knew? Come on, Jeff, you've been watching this for 14 years. Am I supposed to slow down? Sure, if that's what up top has told you.
Cam.
Cool.
All right.
Spencer, Darren said that you were excited about going in for the second half. Can you tell us a little bit about the conversation and just kind of what you felt?
Yeah, Janoko told me with about 30 seconds left in the second quarter that I'll be going in, so just have to shift my mindset. But I felt prepared from the start of the game, just in case. So no, I wasn't the emergency third this week. I was the backup, so I had to have my mind right.
That's kind of interesting. lots of other questions, but this is the first time you've been the backup quarterback in the game. Did that affect, or I mean, did that change how you prepared or did anything?
No, honestly, didn't have a lot of time on task this week, with the guys. So just had to come out of halftime and trust in what they do. I mean, these guys are incredible. Proud of how they fought up front, wide out, tight end, everybody, running backs. So credit to them.
Anything beneficial about kind of cheap expression thrown into the fire or whatever, you know what I mean? That they just got to go out there and kind of play on instinct.
Well, I think we had some more guys in healthy than last time. I think that's big. Eric, Caesar, Lucas, having MVS out there. Kevin, all these guys said, Kendre, AK for most of the game. It was good to have all those guys out there. Defense, same thing. Played lights out, I thought. Kept us in that game, and, we were one play away. I thought Juwan got help, but, it's good players in this league. It's tough to make those plays, but I like the aggression. I like what we did there.
When did you know y'all were going for two?
What's that?
When did you know y'all were going to go for two?
We knew before the drive. We wanted to go down there and win the game. I think that's the mindset our whole team had. I want to say proud of the team because nobody flinched that whole game. At halftime coming out, nobody flinched. We believed that we could come out and go win the game, and we were an inch away. So, got to be proud of that.
What did it mean to you to know that they were willing to make that call with you in there? I mean, you came in the second half, rookie, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things that are part of that.
Yeah.
They still wanted to do that.
No, I love Clint's aggression. In that second half, I thought he called a great game. I thought the guys played really well up front. We protected the ball, moved the chains. Groupie made some big kicks. We wanted to finish with 7 points, obviously, down there, but Groupie came in, knocked 2 down, and gave us a shot. And we went down and scored. Foster had some big-time plays. Kendre had some big-time runs. O-line blocked their butts off. So, again, credit to them.
What was your approach on that 2-minute drive when it comes to poise and patience? I mean, you used every bit of clock that was left,
Mm-hmm.
but, keeping the patience to not try to just start throwing for the end zone, I guess.
Yeah. I just think playing ball, understanding the situation, getting mental reps throughout the week in practice, seeing how 2 minutes, manufactured, how you're supposed to run it. I thought we ran it to a T and went down there with no time on the clock and had a chance to win. So it was an impressive drive from the guys. Great calls by Clint and, great job by the defense setting us up to get that drive.
What did it mean to get another opportunity after the way your first 3 games went?
Yeah, I knew I'd have to be ready no matter what. What I'm learning is this league is crazy, man. Could be one thing another week and something new the next. So just always staying ready. I think that's what it comes down to. And then I think this time I just went out there and played my style of the game. Wanted to, cut it loose, play free, and was happy Clint, had that trust in our offense to go down there and execute and set up a chance to win the game.
How did it do that the 3 times?
Like I said, those were really good teams we played those first 3 times. And we had, a lot of injuries. You can see the injury report was a lot smaller this week. So that's a good thing.
Spencer, what does a game like this do for your confidence?
I think it's great to get out there and prove something, I've kind of just been sitting back, just watching how Derek plays, watching everything, learning. I think it was good to sit back and watch how it's supposed to be done for a few weeks. But again, third guy, second guy, first guy, you got to stay ready no matter what. So credit to Coach Dinoco, Clint, for preparing us throughout the week. He did a heck of a job this week.
Does it validate your performance? I mean, your preparation? You can come in like that, perform?
I mean, yeah, that definitely gives you confidence. But you got to do it over and over. Didn't have any reps with the ones this week. So to be able to go out there and have that connection with them, I think that's big. Just to be able to adjust, to the things going on. So again, it wasn't just me. We got 11 guys on the field, and like Rizzi says, 1/11th. I feel like everybody on the offensive side of the ball, did their 1/11th that second half.
Got another opportunity to go in there. It would look a lot different. Is this closer to what you expected?
No doubt. I was confident going in and felt prepared. I don't think we took any sacks. O-line did a great job. We ran the ball pretty well. Converted when we need to on third down. I think we were great on third down in the second half. Just got to still finish in the red zone. I mean, there were still some plays out there to be made. I think trying to force that one into Juwan up the seam. Lulu number 4 made a good play on that. Should have put more touch on it. And just thinking of other plays. We could have definitely been better, but we gave ourselves a shot, and that's credit to my guys.
How important was the 3rd and 10 pass to Dante on your first drive? That kind of got things going, but I guess maybe how confident were you to make the throw in the first place?
Yeah, confident. Coach Dinoco prepares us for that look every week. We have that play. Looking at MVS first deep, they took that away, and we've seen so many clips of them bending that in on the dig, and Dante made a great catch. I actually threw it a little behind him. He made a great catch and got upfield, and it was a big conversion. And then obviously Cedric with the dime to AK, great catch there. Get some juice going, get some sparks going, momentum, and that was great for us coming out of half.
What was your reaction when you saw that play coming in?
I honestly knew it would work. We've been holding that one in the holster for a little bit. Happy Clint called it. It was the perfect time to call it.
Spencer, just knowing that Riz was going to go for 2 if y'all scored there, feel like the head coach, the aggressive mindset, and knowing that he's going to go for the win in that situation, you'll appreciate that?
100%. Sitting at, we were sitting at where we're at, we got to go out there and win the game. And I love the aggression. I love the mindset. I think you need that.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you saw in the big completion to Mark West?
Yeah, that was the exact look we repped this week. They did their defense is a really good defense at hiding their shells and holding to the last second and snap of the ball. They got to that too high and knew the middle of the field was going to be there. Honestly, took probably 1 or 2 more hitches than I needed to and made it harder on myself, but Quez made a great catch, and O-line blocked just enough, and that was a big time catch by him.
Thank you, Spencer.
Thank you. Yep.
What you guys got for me? Can't wait for this.
Well, yeah. Why don't you just review how you feel about it?
Yeah, obviously I'm disappointed, right? You go out there and you make a good play on, the 3rd play of the game, gets called back, which is tough. Credit to, the guys in the second half. I thought Spencer did a great job coming in and handling, the moment of the game and did a really good job moving the team. So, gave us a chance there to win at the end, and, I was proud of how he handled himself.
Obviously, Darren made a point about that play being called back and other opportunities that he said he didn't attribute to you. But what is your regret about what you could have done better, obviously, in that half?
I'll have to go back and look at the tape. That's the biggest thing. The only thing that I can really think of that comes to mind is trying to force a ball to AK when we're down. Learning from that and not making that mistake again. But, overall, I felt like that was probably my one bad decision. When you go back and look at it, you'll probably say the same. But obviously I didn't get enough first downs, didn't move the team. And, Spencer came in, like I said, did a great job.
That play happens, or like the misconnection with the drop from MVS. Does that affect your momentum at all? Or
no. My biggest thing is trying to go one play at a time. I felt like there was points there that just didn't happen for us for whatever reason. And, my biggest thing is trying to go one play, the next play. And, today didn't go my way.
Might be the same answer, but is it any different at all in a situation like the play that you referenced where you get the big completion, it happens, but then it gets called back? Like, how challenging is that?
Yeah, it's tough, right? You're trying to make plays, you're trying to do whatever you can to try to get first downs. And when something happens like that, you just got to kind of take a deep breath and go, to the next play. And, obviously you look at it, the big, choice route I had to AK early and then get sacked next play. It's on me. I got to step up in the pocket and make something happen with my feet. And, just things like that you learn and grow from.
And how do you feel about, not getting a chance to go out in the second half?
Listen, I obviously want to be able to go and not have that leash be that tight. Felt like I want to go out there and have an opportunity to play a full game. But sometimes it's not up to me. I got to do everything I can to prepare each week. And, I feel like my teammates were confident, in me if I got the opportunity to go in the second half. And you guys see how these games go. Sometimes, even when Derek's in there, it's one half looks like this, the next half totally different. So, you saw that today. And obviously I'm disappointed that we lost, first of all, but second of all, I didn't get that opportunity.
Did the coaches give any indication beforehand that that might be the case, that, you know, if you didn't get out to a fast start, they might go with something else?
I mean, keep that in house, but at the end of the day, my job is to go and operate, you know, and I didn't do that. So
Jake, how did you learn you weren't going to start the second half?
they just came up to me and told me that Spencer was going to get the first opportunity to go in the second half. And, you know, obviously, like I said, disappointed. You know, would have loved the opportunity to go out there and compete with, you know, with the guys in the second half and have a chance to go and, you know, see what their second half game plan was. Are they going to continue to pressure us? Are they going to continue to play 3 deep, 3 under and get to some of the calls that we talked about and move the launch point? But, you know, for whatever reason, we didn't have those opportunities in the first half, and, you know, we made them count when it mattered in the second.
The coach said you only had 14 plays. Is it hard to get a rhythm with that few snaps?
Listen, Jeff, I mean, you can make whatever excuse you want for yourself. You know, at the end of the day, my job is to move the team. And if I'm not doing that, then I'm not doing my job. So, you know, I could sit here and feel sorry for myself and go cry to all you guys. But at the end of the day, I just got to go get better and put my head down and, you know, not listen to all the hate that I'm about to receive from everybody, and just keep being myself. Yeah. Good. Thanks, guys.
What? Hold on. What? Acknowledge all of the hate from the people he's about to get from. That's a very interesting way to leave that press conference, Mr. Hayner. I don't know what to make of that one. That was a pretty interesting way to kind of just acknowledge all of the hate that he's about to get. Really? Oh, wow.
That's what he said. That's what the man said.
Really? All I'm saying, he's about to acknowledge all of the hate that I got to deal with all that. No. See, you looking at this all wrong, Jake. Bro, listen, dog, what are we talking about here? Acknowledge all of the hate that the people? Really? So it's just, they just hating. Listen, it's not hate, man. You set yourself up for this loss. And let me just address the Jake Hayner thing. I'm going to give a shout out to the super chatters in a second. I'm going to get Pops to give his thoughts on these press conferences before we get ready to stream. What's really interesting about the Jake Hayner thing, right? Jake Hayner's been used as a buffer quarterback this entire goddamn season. I've been telling the mighty Who Dat Nation and the great Saint think tank that for the entire season. Jake Hayner knows that he doesn't deserve the backup job. And I'm talking second string backup job. Spencer Rattler beat Jake Hayner badly. It wasn't close during the preseason to earn the backup job. And the only reason why he's entitled to feel entitled to that second string job is because Dennis Allen used him as a buffer quarterback, and he didn't do the righteous thing, which was step up and say, you're not going to do that to me. Spencer deserves that job. Spencer outplayed me. He deserves that backup job. And Dennis Allen was doing that so that he can keep Spencer, who was incredibly popular with the Who Dat Nations, off the back of Derek Carr, his preferred favorite. That is the absolute truth in the matter of that QB competition. And Darren Rizzi kept the whole blasted thing going. When he took over the team, he did not fix that situation. He's scared to go over there and tell them offensive people anything. That's why he stays away from it. That's why when they ask him about the offense and players, he get the tap dancing. He get to speak. You know, he gets to, well, listen, we got to sit down and talk to the rest of the people over there in the building. And then after we do that, we're going to come back and go tell y'all what I think. Well, I mean, what we think. What I think. I don't know what the hell I think. I'm going crazy. You know, that he don't know nothing about. He stays away from that side of the ball. And Jake Hayner, you deserve everything that you're going to get. because you knew you wasn't the true backup. That's the God's truth. And I've been saying that. That's why I said when weeks ago, y'all put one in the chat if y'all remember me always saying is that I'll be looking at Jake Haener side-eye because he played right on into that. You know that you didn't win that backup job. And it is clear and obvious by how you played in the first half of this game and how the second half of the game, nothing changed. You had the same offensive line. He had the same offensive line, the exact same line that Rattler had. He had the same line. He had the same players. Matter of fact, he had more of Alvin Kamara in the first than Rattler had of him in the second. But some kind of way, Rattler was able to inspire the Saints offense to get going and put 19 points up in the second half, and he did goose eggs, despite the fact that they couldn't get going because the offense still stumbled and bumbled behind him. Even the little trickeration play where Cedric Wilson Jr. threw the ball across field to Alvin Kamara to make that touchdown catch. None of that trickeration stuff happened under Jake Haener. It happened under Spencer Rattler. The same shitty offensive line that was not blocking in the first half of the game and not doing anything came alive for Spencer Rattler. How do you explain that? Same plays, except for the tricky play, same stuff going on, same people, different result. And the only one that needs to be upset by this is the fact that you are delusional. This guy is delusional. No, you didn't deserve that quarterback job, that backup job. That's honest. Well, he gonna finish the press conferences. He got a brace for the hate. No. A brace for the truth. And a lot of these people are thin-skinned and can't handle the truth. They can't handle it. You tell them the truth, they hate you for the rest of your life. They tell them the truth. I'm telling you, prepare if you telling people the truth that's kind of wavy up here, be prepared to be hated for the rest of your life for telling them something that's true. Because they will rather live with a lie than to live with the truth. They would rather be delusional. This guy is delusional to sit up here and say that.
Yeah.
Your whole performance showed that you wasn't the best quarterback. I said this all year, and Who That Nation knowed it. That Spencer there was no command of the offense. Those guys didn't galvanize around him. And if it wasn't galvanizing him as a quarterback, you're supposed to get on them guys and blast them for how they was playing. You deserve to. You the leader of the team. It's not Carr. You're the leader of the team. You reprimand them guys. Blast them if you got to. Bro, what I got to do, man, to get some help? Y'all, what's going on here? Come on, guys. Get this together, man. You know what? He was no command of that offense with him in there. So anyway, it is what it is, man. Cartel says, Q, you remember when the whole chat chewed me out for repping Spencer Rattler? I'm telling you, Spencer Rattler like that, bro. Thank you, Cartel. Shout out to you. Let me do some super chat here, then I'm going to get Pops to give his thoughts on what he thought about it. YO says, Q Rattler is the future, y'all. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you for that. As well, C-Rob says, it is clear who the quarterback of the future is. Even Carr would have given up once the line started having problems. Same team, different quarterback. Thank you, bro. OG to the third degree. Why would Rizzi be on thin ice? He's an interim head coach. The thing is, he took over the team in a really bad position. They were falling through the floor, 7 straight lose streak. And just like the Saints took too long to fire Coach Possum, that's the same thing with Rattler in this game. They took too long to put Rattler in the game. And listen, it's not on Jake Haener. The offensive line was pathetic. They need to be reprimanded and blown back. They were awful. They didn't run block. Getting on them. But the offensive brain trust, if you won't call them that, did not make adjustments in the first or second. They didn't put that extra blocker in there to help out that stinking offensive line so they can give Jake Haener more time to throw the ball. They made no adjustment. They just let them sink. They just let them fall apart. They made no adjustments. They were too slow to do any damn thing to get it right. That's the bottom line. But, Rizzi would be on thin ice because right now it's a small window to see if he could be the guy to lead the team in the future. And as you can see, after the honeymoon period is obviously over, now, the people are expecting, some results. The Saints are 5-9 right now, not looking too good. But when you hit free agency or when you get into the offseason, you got to go and talk to guys that have more of a head coaching resume than Rizzi. Now, you can interview him. You'll be interviewed for the job, but you got to go out and interview a bunch of other people that have a lot more experience in that position, a grander resume in that position, But in thin ice, it's like, if the only way he solidly gets the job is if they win all these games and get into the postseason. That would basically guarantee him the job. Any other way, and that only all postseason play revolves him being in a line, being interviewed with other coaches. So that that's my thinking on that. Mm-hmm. All right, thank you, bro. Taylor says, and thank you, OG. Taylor says, Big Q, the Rattler is rattling. Yes, he is. He did a wonderful job. Thank you, brother Taylor. Barbara says, Rizzi looking like DA at point home. Thank you, Barbara. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. C. Rob says, I agree. It's the ballsy decision to go for it. There was no guarantee we would have been able to win if we didn't take the chance. Stall Rizzi out. He's dealing with a lot, and players have his back. All right. Thank you, C. Rob. Appreciate you there. M. Dot says he's doing a lot of complaining and finger pointing, Q. I hope KK hearing this sounds like insubordination to me. All right. Yeah, well, KK's in here. I'm pretty sure she heard you. And to all y'all, thank y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for y'all super chats. Thank you. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all for the super chats, man. Pops, thoughts on all these players? You heard, Rattler, Hayner, Cam, Rizzi. What are your thoughts on these guys?
Well, there's a little frustration because they played their butts off and they still lost the game. Like I said, I still stand by my decision that the Saints should have kicked the extra point, went into overtime, and then see if they can finish the Commanders off that way. By them playing to win, wasn't nothing wrong with the decision. I'm just saying, looking at the time they had left on the clock, 3 seconds, kick the extra point, do your thing in overtime, because they had the momentum. Rattler's still a young quarterback. He made it because I was looking at that play. I believe I saw that the left side of the field opened up. He could have ran for the 2 points, but he stood there and decided to throw because they dropped everybody into the end zone. Well, there got to be some running room somewhere. They were only a few yards off the goal. Take off and run to the corner. He would have made it. He would went to the corner. He probably would have made it, and then he could have. But that's a decision for a young quarterback. He did, he missed on it. But if I was the coach, I would have said, "Well, I'm gonna go ahead on and kick that extra point. We're gonna go in overtime and see what we can do with it." That would have gave the young quarterback more time to get his thoughts together, thinking situation together. And but it is what it is. They lost by 1 point, but a loss by 1 point is just as bad as losing by 20 or 30. It's decision making and execution. And in the first half, they did not execute very well. I'm surprised that Daniels and Washington didn't get more points on them than they did. It's just up to that defense, the way that defense played. Anytime you get 8 sacks, how in the hell do you lose the game and you got 8 sacks? I just don't understand that. In the older days when we had Breeze, they'd be blowing teams out, getting all them sacks. And then you're gonna sack Jaden Daniels 8 times. I'm talking about a stud like Jaden Daniels. You sack him 8 times and you still come out and you lose the game. I do respect that young man Rattler for rallying the team around him. I noticed one thing, he got the ball out quickly. He didn't hold on to the ball too long. See, the quickness, execution has to be quick. It's like 1, 2, 3, ball out. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, ball out. You stand there, anything beyond 5 seconds, they're gonna put you down. Or you're gonna have to run, try to get some yardage. So, I mean, he might be frustrated, but he didn't get the ball out a lot of times as quick as he should have gotten it out. That's why he took a lot of sacks and a lot of hits. That offensive line didn't play worth a crap in the first half, but he still had time to get the ball out. Get the ball out. You got to do your reads. You shouldn't take no more than 3 or 4 seconds to do your reads, and then you see a guy, throw the ball to him, get it out quickly. They didn't do that. This young man didn't do that. So they changed up. They went to the Rattler. On the first few plays Rattler made, the ball was gone when they got to it. The ball was out. Catches made. And that's what these guys are looking for. They want to see that ball come out. And everybody wants to see the ball come out so you don't get beat up like that. You don't get sacked. You're going to get sacked. But, you got to make the proper decisions and the right throw. And they had opportunity. Now, the offensive line didn't block well at all. They still need to address that. And Rizzi, by him being an interim coach, he really don't have very much control over that side of the ball. But he need to tighten that up. He need to pull his coach in there and tighten up. Who can we put in here? Who's the best run blockers on this team? Who can we get? Who can we bring in to help us with our run game, rather than just losing these games? Now they've been doing better stopping the run, but we can't run the ball on anybody else. And it all has to do with that offensive line.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Pops. The line struggled madly, man. The line was awful, man. In the first quarter of the game, and Jake Haener was, kind of struggling. We made mention of during the game. I'm like, man, Rattler will give them he would look better there because he's more athletically gifted. Like Rizzi was like, they're both 6'7". I'm like, no, they're not the same. You're just saying that. Now he's not saying he ain't gonna tell the truth because he wants to keep it neutral. He don't want to insult another player, but he's saying that they're very similar. Yeah, they're different. Rattler is an athletic quarterback that can move around. He's more decisive. He has a stronger arm in throwing the ball, and he has a better grasp on the offense. They just respect him differently. I mean, you've seen that happen. You've seen how the respect factor was happening for Rattler against Haener. That was nothing. That was nothing in the first half. I mean, they didn't do nothing the whole first half. Nothing.
No.
They didn't make any adjustments. There was nothing. The offense was horrible. And then Rattler gets in there and tears everything up. He changes the dynamic. So what Haener needs to do is he doesn't need to focus on talking about hate. See, I don't even like that mentality. That right there shows me that you operating from the wrong mindset totally. You don't sit up here and call, waiting for the hate from the people. No, you don't say that. You don't worry. No, your play is, you need to improve your play. And you're delusional. You shouldn't be the second string quarterback. That's them playing games. And you played right into it. You knew he wasn't the guy. You should have told him, hey, man, listen, this other guy won a job. And then you get in there and not handle the business. Now, he was loose in the press conference. I'm like, he could run that offense because he'd been here a little longer than, he did under the Carmichael's system. He's been here longer. He had more experience in the NFL game. With Clint Kubiak was doing over the last several weeks, he could run that. Nothing was complicated about Clint Kubiak's offense. He can run it. But they just didn't take to him. The first half, they did not take to him. They didn't take to him. The offensive line, there was no synergy or chemistry around them. They didn't run the ball at all well. They didn't do nothing, and then it was a complete change. You understand? If that don't show you everything you need to know, then I don't know what does. So like I said, we've been calling it for a while, and Rizzi don't do nothing on that offense. I've been telling y'all that. That's why he's probably not going to be the coach, because if you come in, you can't then make changes on 2 of the 3 units that you have as a head coach and don't do nothing with the offense. And I was questioning her, like, hold on, you're not going to do nothing with that offense? You're not going to go over there and do something with that play calling? You're not going to try to see if you can go and find some more talent at the wide receiver position? He sat there and smashed his ass the entire bye week. When we had that bye week, we could have been bringing in some more people here, trying out some people. They didn't do none of that. We ain't do none of that. Nothing to the offense. Oh, we good over there. We just need to get these linemen back. Then you get these starting linemen back. They look terrible against the Giants. They look like shit against the Commanders until Rattler was able to come in there. And even when Rattler was playing, they were still allowing people to get back there on him. So at what point do we say, well, he wasn't the only one was the problem? You know that offensive line is shit. They are. Cesar Salad Ruiz, Trevor Penning, Eric McCoy, Lucas Patrick, and even Fuaga, all of them was getting beat individually out there today at different points of the game consistently. Trevor Penning was up too high, and it was pushing him in the lap of Haener early in the game, and I called that out during the broadcast. I said, man, listen, them guys are living in the backfield. And they wasn't doing like they were sending 5 or 6 people in there. They were getting pressure with 4 guys consistently in the first half.
Yeah.
What is fantastic line that Mickey Loomis was talking, we just have to get back our guys. We got to get all I know. Then we got to get some of these offensive linemen back here. And you're going to see them. But what we going to see? What we seeing today, which is shitty offensive line play for the last couple of weeks? That's the problem. These guys are not, they making all this money and they're not producing. Like, look at the rushing effort against the Giants and the rushing effort against the Commanders. You mean to tell me we couldn't run on them people? That line is shitty, man. And it failed in the first half. Rattler, and to be honest with Haener, to keep it real on Haener, he couldn't even set his feet and get comfortable back there because the offensive line couldn't block to protect him and couldn't even open up running a line so they can run the game to even balance it off so the game is not squarely on his shoulders. And the Saints sit up there and let that happen. So like I said, man, they were like, I made a joke about it. One play, Pops, where Haener got knocked down on the ground in some kind of way. Trevor Penning was laid up on the side of him. I said, what the hell is this? How the hell did that happen?
He just wanted to be down there with him.
Haener knocked on his ass, and Spencer and Trevor Penning laying up there next to him. I'm like, what is this going on here? What kind of shot? I ain't signed up for this kind of shit here, man. What y'all going on?
He on the ground, the quarterback right there next to him.
I said, they got children watching this shit. Goddamn, what y'all doing out here, man? Get this together. But, man, it's crazy how it is on his face, man. But at the end of the day, the Saints fall short 20-19. They're now 5-9, and they're headed to Green Bay. Next matchup, Pops, is against the Green Bay Packers. 2 days before Christmas is the 23rd in the cold terrain of Green Bay. Green Bay is a good club. The Saints have not been able to beat Green Bay the last bunch of times that they played them. The Packers are 9-4, 5-2 at home. And Matt LaFleur, who's the coach, is like 12 and something. He's probably better than that now. But he's only lost 2 games or something like that in December, 2 or 3 games in December. So they thrive to play. Plus, Elvis dealing with a groin issue. So it's going to be very interesting going up there to take on the 9-4 Packers. Pops, what's your thought process on that head forward?
Yeah, especially when it's going to be so cold up there. It's going to be really, really tough for them to beat them. I'm just praying that they would get together. And they might pull something out. But if they start Jake and Jake can't do anything, they have to put Rattler in there. Maybe Rattler give him a chance to stay in the game, but I do not expect them to beat the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, but if you got Rattler for a full game and better offensive line play, I don't know if Albin's got a groin issue. We don't know how that's going to look. But Kendra Miller,
It could work. It could work, but they have to execute the plays to perfection. They got to give Kendra the ball to see how the running game's going, and when they get ready to throw the ball, they got to have quick release, accurate passing. It's possible to do that against Green Bay, but you got to know where to go with the ball. But I'll give Rattler a chance to be in the game with them. Could they beat Green Bay in the wintertime? I don't know. I would hope that they could.
Yeah, that'll be a big problem. Like I say, Green Bay is probably. Then Jordan Love does have a scramble component to him. The Saints were able to do a good job of keeping Jaden Daniels under control as much as possible, plus stopping them in the second half to allow the Saints to catch up. It just was not enough. If you got a field goal or something in the first half, it probably would have flipped the game. Probably would have been sneaking out of there. But the way they go down is how they go down. The offensive play callers are not as smart as we originally thought. They're not, they made the adjustment too late in the game. They should have seen that and made it at least halfway halfway of the second quarter. You can't go through the entire quarter of play with no points, man, and the team
and then
mounting.
Win. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you're down by 20 when the half was over in the first half, and then they had to come from behind. But they did a marvelous job. Rattler brought them back, but my perception is that they should have kicked the extra point, and then go for the win in overtime. But like I said,
they had the vibe, Pops. That would have been, and I agree with you. I think that would have been
for your young quarterback. That would have been helpful to him, because he'd had more snaps.
Right, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you on that wholeheartedly, man. That would have been a smart thing to do, is to force the overtime. Yeah.
Yeah, force overtime. Yeah.
But yeah, we got a tough matchup next week, fam. Green Bay, going to Green Bay in the snow. I guarantee you that Spencer Rattler is going to start. We're probably going to hear from Jake Hayner for the rest of the year unless injuries occur. But Spencer Rattler, if Derek Carr's game can't go, it'll be Spencer's show for the rest of the year, in my estimation. My thing is this. I would say that there is no postseason for this team. There's no postseason for this.
Not this year.
No, that's because that just goes to show the decision-making ability is not there. Even though they might have the personnel at times, the decision-making is either late or non-existent. And it's just, it's a few things we short on. It's a lot of stuff that we just short on. And it ain't necessarily tied to the players. You know what I mean? If you are a coach and you're looking at what the Saints are giving you in terms of the offensive line, who blows up that line? Who gets them offensive line men together for how they've been blocking these last two games? Who gets them together? Rizzi don't tell them people nothing. That's why he can't be the guy. He don't tell them nothing. He does what Dennis Allen did. That's why I don't want him here. You can't do what Dennis Allen do on offense and repeat that. Don't have any control over the offense. Don't make any decisions on offense. Doesn't make any changes on offense, and expect to be a coach next year. No, you can't do that. If you're the head coach, you got to go over there and make changes. You got to bring people in. You got to keep circulating and bringing people in here to help out your wide receiver room. You got to keep doing it. You got to be on these guys' backs, and I just don't like the fact that he runs away, it appears, gets all nervous and fidgety when you start talking about offense and what's this, that, and the third. Like he made the call with Jake Hayner. That within itself is a strong indictment against his decision making. And he's an interim coach. He's gonna make a bunch of bad calls. He made some good stuff. He just hasn't done enough, offensively speaking, to create and demand change there. He hadn't done enough. The Jake Hayner thing, he fiddled all around this whole past week about who the guy was going to be. This whole rigmarole.
And that's what's called the problem. Yeah. And see, the thing about it, because these guys, they want to know, they like to get their reps in. So Spencer didn't get any reps in until, I don't know if he even got any at all in this week. He said too early.
He said he didn't have emergency reps, so he had the backup reps. So he did get the reps in. Okay. According to what he just said, he had to have done something positive because, you look at what he turned out in the game. His numbers was, he did a serviceable job to get him to turn to almost win. But the call on, that's what the reporters was asking him on. How could you say Hayner over Rattler? Me, I was like, because we had it voted who that nation, like, it's going to be Rattler. This is always Rattler. And it's Rattler because he's the better choice. He earned the job. And then they went Hayner. I was like, okay, that's very interesting. Okay, maybe let's see what he does. because that offense is not terribly complicated. All it is about him, his command. Can he get the ball out and that and third? Man, none of that happened.
Yeah.
But it like I said, it's different because when he was in there, nothing happened. Then when Rattler gets in there, everything happens.
That's true.
So it's same players, and even he and Rattler had Kamara less than Haener had him in the first half. So it's just we just done put all this to bed. At least we don't put that much to bed about this whole thing about Jake Haener. Jake Haener, man, don't think like that about we gotta get rid of all the hate. Man, listen, bro. If it wasn't all on you, man, but as a quarterback, you have to have thicker skin than that, man. You got to have, which means he's listening to you. The majority of them do. They tell you they don't, but they do. That was like he kind of gave you some inside basketball or baseball rather about how what they're doing. Well, I got to hear from all the hate. Where you listening to hate at? Who hating on Haener? Who hating on Haener? So like I said, man, they got to get rid of all that. No, man. They're not going to hate. The Who Dat Nation is very fair. They're not going to hate on you, man. They know what time it is. They know what time it is. They know that the guy named Rattler is just a better quarterback who fits here, who got a better command. And sometimes that happens. Some dudes just better at the job than you are. It's just what it is.
It is what it is, like we said. It is. All
right, closing. Yeah, go ahead, Pops. Go ahead, close us out.
Well, I'm praying that we could do something in Green Bay. We have played very well in the cold. I remember there were some games in Buffalo a couple of times. They beat Buffalo up there. So we can do, but they haven't played very well in Green Bay. I'm hoping we can reverse that trend if Rattler's a starter and the team will play like they motivated to play. We have a shot at winning it. Might not be much of a shot. I don't think the odds maker's going to give us much chance. But if we play like we played today, at least we'll be in the game to have a chance to give ourselves a chance to win.
Yeah, indeed, boss. Next week, man, they got the Green Bay Packers are up next, man. So the Saints fall to 5-9 on the 20-19 loss. And unfortunately, that's going to be difficult. The Green Bay game is going to be very difficult in the snow, and we don't know what's going on with Alvin Kamara. So more updates coming up soon on all of that stuff. So anyway, I'd like to thank all you guys for joining us on today's stream, rather. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate you for rocking with Tacoma. Please feel free to hit the like button. If you hadn't hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share the show on your social media feed. That helps us out as well. Also, feel free to give our sponsors some love too. And they broadcast Mint Mobile. They got a 50% deal going on right now at Mint Mobile, man. Hit the link in the description section below. You can save some money right now. Teach Henley also has a special going on. And of course, Bet Online. If you can't make money with the Saints, make money on the Saints. That's what I say, because they do it to you. All right. So anyway, with that being said, we're going to get out on that. I'd like to thank all of the super chatters and cash appers. Thank you guys for another great day of football here, man. Listen, and we'll be back on our Monday stream, man, to talk more about it. So much love, and who that tell you?
Yeah. Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shade for the championship. Fucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that?
Thank you for making Saints Central your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to Bet Online today to get in on all the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet Online, the game starts here.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That Did.